Now let's invite Raamdeo Agrawal, the Joint MD, Motilal Oswal, to join in. Thank you very much, Raamdeo, for joining in on what is a very big day for the markets. What's the sense you are getting? Is this breakout of that 6,400 range the beginning of a much bigger breakout? Do you think the market, you wouldn't be surprised if the market gets to 7,000 in a quarter or two?
Yeah, Lata, I think, after 7 years, it's going into kind of a very comfortably walking into the new high. Conditions are very, very conducive in the sense that news flow is, we have a big event ahead in two months. And you have, I think I give more importance to the corporate earnings and earnings growth, which are very, very solid. I mean, through the cycle, we have not had one single year of decline in the earnings, though the earnings growth slowed down. And actually now the earnings growth is picking up. And forecast for the next year is even higher for the earnings, this thing. Currency reforms have happened. Currency is no more overvalued. It's at about 61, 62, very stable. So I think conditions are very conducive. Of course, Modi moves the market. That's the theme right now. So clearly, upcoming event is looked at with a lot of optimism. And I think one should also not forget that other asset classes have completely become very, very muted. Real estate or gold or fixed income, everything is very, very subdued. So now this is a time for, after 7 years, this is a time for investors domestic investors particularly, to come back to the market, and conditions are perfect.
Raamdeo, hi, good morning. On that optimistic note, let's discuss some individual stocks, because the one that really takes your breath away today is L&T. I mean, 6% rise, and it's been driving this market for the last many days. Do you like the capital goods space in a sense that is it good enough to invest now, or is it just, as you mentioned, a trading pop that one should look at because of the Modi trigger?
Yeah, so right now one of the biggest challenges is whether to buy quality, whether to buy cyclicals, whether to buy very low quality. And, I mean, those beaten down low quality stocks. So I mean, L&T is one thing which is cyclical, which is very high quality, and which is large in size. So it is large, not very unpopular, but still out of favor. So clearly, if infrastructure build-up has to happen, say $1 trillion in next 5 years, I would think this country will reach somewhere $1 trillion per annum, maybe after 5, 7 years, 8 years or 10 years. That should be the objective, because the gap in infrastructure spend is the main gap between us and China or many other countries. So clearly L&T is one company which will have the first preference of getting bulk of the, I mean, lots of contracts in airports and building and whole lot of things. So I think that's where and they manage themselves very well on the downturn. So clearly L&T is one of the stocks which did, even 2003 to 2008, it did wonderfully well. I mean, it was completely out of favor, and now it's already, I think, 60-70% higher than the bottom. So clearly this is one stock which is likely to be finding favor in this cycle.
Now you put my question very well, high quality and low quality stocks. Would you start putting your toes into the low quality, or rather the stocks which have been bombed out, for instance PSU Banks?
So Lata, I have already kind of suffered by being in PSU Banks, but they are deeply cyclical. And you have to, I mean, they have lived by their reputation of being far more deeply than what I ever thought. So they are very, very underpriced as an enterprise, in terms of approximate value. But in the hands of this government, it is overpriced, I would say. So fundamentally, if this government change happens, and the kind of financial authorities which we have, I'm quite sure there is going to be some dramatic shift in what they want to do, because this is a very large portion of the economy. PSU Banks, they have about 2/3 of the entire banking system under their belt, deposits and credits, and I think mismanagement of that has been completely total in terms of quality of credit, quality of NPAs. So I'm quite sure we are going to see some dramatic policy decisions irrespective of which government comes in. So and the prices are beaten down to half book or 0.3 book. So I think it's a very good speculative bet. It's not a terrific investment, but it's a very good speculative bet. Downside is limited, upside could be, I mean, in case the policy comes as we are thinking, I mean, anything close to government has no business to be in business. I think the first business they should be getting out should be the PSU banks. So if any kind of thing happens, it could be multi-baggers from here.
Okay. What about the other domestic cyclical space, i.e. the autos? Because a lot of people are now getting extremely bullish in the auto sector, but there are so many stocks which have already touched their 52-week highs. Any incremental moves that you would expect then? If yes, which are the stocks to look at?
Yeah, I would avoid talking about the specific stocks and recommendations, but auto is one space which is very high quality. They are not that deeply cyclical except for the truck guys. I mean, the cycles are much more shallow. I mean, trucks are very deep because they are capital goods. But on the consumer side, high ticket cars are cyclical, but they are not that badly off. I mean, their growth rates come down from say 20-25% to 5-6%, 7%. Two-wheelers have been, I mean, they are almost like FMCG now in terms of consumer space. So they have also slowed down in terms of growth, but not that badly impacted. So I would think that entire auto pack, the penetration of autos in India is very low, and they are very consolidated, very good management, very good cash flow, very reasonably priced. So when the economy does an upturn, there will be quite a good pickup in the demand for autos. You have seen the entry of global majors like Volvo, Benz. Everybody is just lining up in India because they are not lining up for snatching the market share from today's size. They are looking at the exploding market in next 5-10 years for the autos. So clearly auto is one space where one should be clearly present, and we have some very good companies.
Okay. Well, typically mid-caps and quality mid-caps perhaps would be the place where you could get some multi-bagger gains. Is there anything that you can give in terms of hints for investors to pick up in that space? What may you be picking up?
Yes. It is difficult to spot and say any stock today, because what in this kind of rally you'll see hundreds of them kind of giving 100% return, 200% return in 12 months time, because this is a situation where foreigners are buying. Now domestics were selling, so they will also buy. At least they will stop selling, and right now they will stop selling after 15-20 days when everybody else has made money. I think the domestics will come in. Then there is no IPO. So I mean, the only way the buying and selling is going to match is you are going to see a very rapid rise in the prices of these stocks. So I mean, whatever one understands, whatever one is comfortable with, and reasonably quality business, quality management, beaten down price, I think that's the way to go about. And there will be stocks and stocks. I mean, there is no, every day I am hearing 5, 6, 7 stocks which are going to do very well. So I think you have on a mid cap beaten down list, I think you don't have any any scarcity of names.
Oh, absolutely. I just wanted one sector though, infra. We have seen some genuine moves towards road projects. The premium they have to pay the government has been deferred. In power, some tariff hikes have been announced, even if they have not been final. Would you look at any of those GMRs or Tata Powers or any of the infra space, even those that have delevered like JP?
It is very speculative right now, because there has been a lot of corruption, there is a lot of policy issues, there is a lot of how the government wants to behave, how the politicians want to behave towards infrastructure. I think these are deep thoughts. I mean, power has become very political commodity. I mean, what they promise they don't do. There is a lot of fuel issue, there is a lot of tariff issue. Even Aam Aadmi Party politicized the power, and the politicization of power is still on. So in this kind of situation, we as investors, it is very dangerous. They're just not respecting what it takes for long-term 15, 20, 30 years money to be deployed into these sectors. I think till governments start doing something which is very concrete, it remains very speculative, because stocks are beaten down so badly. They will be definitely bounce back from say something which has come down from 500 to say 50 or 60. Clearly from 50, 60 it can go without any effort to 70, 80 or 100. But this is very speculative. For investing, I think we should wait for the policy decisions, and wherever concrete policy decisions come post the new government, I think there we should put our bets, but till then it remains very speculative.
Actually, at the moment, the market's also shaking its head with a little bit of disbelief on the mid-cap stocks. They've lost most of their early morning gains. They started with about a 0.6% gain. Now they are just up about 0.19, 0.2%. So a little bit of shedding of weight over there has taken place. Raamdeo Agrawal, we appreciate you taking time for us on a day which is very important for the markets, all-time high scaled and maintained for now. We'll